So, good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, and we are going to see the third part of our lesson, that is substances, their properties, and their states. Okay. So, this is the last and third and the last part of our lesson. Today, we are going to complete this lesson. Okay. So, I hope you remember what we have done last period. Yes. I hope you have read the textbook and you remember what we have done in the last two lectures. Okay. So now we will just quickly revise it and move on to our lesson. Okay. Yes. Okay. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the name of the lesson is Substances in the Surroundings, Their States and Their Properties, Part 3. So we'll quickly revise all this, what we have done previously. First thing is solids, liquids, and gases are three states of substances. We have seen the substances in their three states, that is solid, liquid, and gases. Next, we have learned that temperature of a substance, whether it is hot or it is cold, we can measure it with the help of a thermometer. Okay. And what is there inside the thermometer? Mercury. Okay. And nowadays we are using digital thermometers. Next, we have seen that heat is the cause of the change of a state of a substance. Okay. Because of heat, state of substance changes. Either the heat is gained or the heat is lost. If the substance want to change its state, it should gain heat or it should lose heat. Okay. Next is boiling point of water and condensation point of water are equal. Okay. Water boils and condenses at the same temperature. Next is freezing point and melting point of water are same. Okay. At the point which water freezes and the point which water melts is equal. Now, boiling of water is also called as ebullition. We have seen this when water boils, it is also called as ebullition. Air mixes with the water. Then in sublimation, solid substances directly changes to gas or vapor without first changing into liquid. As we have seen that all the liquid substances, when they change their state, they first change to solid, to liquid, and then to gas. Okay. But in sublimation, it happens like solid substance directly converts into gas or vapor. Okay. So this process is called sublimation. Now we are going to see the properties of various substances. Okay. All the substance, we can differentiate them based on their properties. So we'll see the first property. You can see this Rajgira Chikki. Glasses and the pieces of chalk. You have seen when teacher is writing on the board in your class, sometimes while writing the chalk breaks. How it happens? When the pressure is applied on it, the chalk breaks very easily. Similarly, it is with glass and Rajgira Chikki or Rajgira Laddu, which you get in school. They break very easily. Okay. So the substance, when the pressure is applied on any substance and it breaks into smaller pieces, this property of substance is called as brittleness. Okay. The substance which breaks easily when little force is applied on them, thus those substances have the property of brittleness. Okay. Chalk is a brittle substance. Glass is a brittle substance which breaks very easily when the force is applied, or when they fall down, then also they break very easily. Okay. So this is the first property, that when a pressure is applied on any substance and it breaks into smaller pieces, this property of a substance is called as brittleness. Okay. Now next is hardness. Hardness means hardness of many things are hard. Okay. So if you take an iron nail, suppose for an example, we take an iron nail and try to pierce it in a cardboard paper. We can easily pierce it, right? But if we try to pierce it in a wood or in a wall, it is very difficult because cardboard is not that hard like a wall. Okay, so you can see the hardness of a substance that determines by how much resistance it offers to the substance being pushed through it. Okay, in which substance we are pushing the material, that shows the hardness of a substance. An example is stone. Stone is also hard, and wood. Wood is also very hard. So to insert anything inside these two substances or any hard substance, we have to take a hammer or we have to apply more pressure. Okay. So hardness of a substance is also a property. First, we have seen brittleness. Second one is hardness. Next is, you can see elastic band every day in your home. Girls tie their hairs. Okay. So when you stretch it, it easily stretches and becomes long. Okay. And if you take a piece of sponge and release it, put a pressure on it and release it, it will again come back to the original shape. So some substances like this, they change their shape when force is applied to them. Okay. There are many substances like this which shows this property of stretching and coming back to the original shape. Okay. So the substance, they change their shape when force is applied to them, but they return back to their original shape. And the size when force is removed. Return back to their original shape and size when force is removed. This property is called elasticity. Okay. Elastic, we say elastic, rubber band, sponge, balloon. You can see when you blow a balloon, it becomes bigger and bigger. Okay. When force is applied in it, it changes the shape and size. But when we remove the air from it, what happens? It will again come back to its original small shape. Okay, so this is the property of elasticity. Any substance which is stretched or change the shape and size, but when the force is released, it again comes back to its original shape and size. This property is called the property of elasticity. Okay, we can see so many substances around us which shows this property of elasticity. Okay. Now next, move on to another property in which you will take a flat metal sheet or any notebook like that, small sheet. You should hold it in an angle of 40-45 degree, and then you will put a drop of water, drop of honey, and drop of your glue, Fevicol, on it. You will see that they will flow downwards, okay, on a sloping surface. But water will flow very quickly, honey will take little time, and glue will take much more time. Okay, but every liquid will flow downwards. So this shows that liquid flows downwards on a sloping surface. If any sloping surface is there, liquids will flow on the downward position. And this property is called fluidity. Okay, fluidity of a substance, property of a substance to flow down. Okay, and only liquids have this property. If you keep a box on it, or if you keep your compost box in it, will it flow down? No, it will not flow down because that is not a liquid. Okay, all the liquids flow downwards on a sloping surface, and this property, only liquids have the property of fluidity. Okay. Next is density. What is density? You can see the picture. Two pictures are there where you can see some boxes in the balls. Some are loosely, one box is having few balls and another box is having too many balls, kept very close. Okay, so this shows the density, means density of particles of a substance. Okay, if I take a wooden box and an iron box of same size is same, but the material is different. One is wooden box and one is iron box. Which one will be heavier? Yes, iron box will be heavier. Why? Because the density of the particles inside that substance is much more than the wooden box. This shows the density of particles. If the particles are loosely present in the substance, it is lighter in weight. And if the particles are compressed and densely placed in a substance, that substance is heavier. Okay, so even if the mass of a different substances having the same volume can be different. Okay, same volume means same size. Okay, if they occupy the same space to place, they can be different because of the difference in the density. Mass can be different. If the size of the substance is same, but their size of the substance is same, but their weight can be different because of the density. As we said that wooden box and iron box are of same shape and size, but their weight is different, mass is different. It is because the density of particles inside that substance. Okay, so density is also very important to classify the substance. So mass of a different substance having the same volume can be different because of the difference in their density. So density is also a property of substance. Okay, so first one was brittleness, second one was hardness, next we have seen elasticity, next was fluidity, and this one is density. Now we will move on to another property of substance, that is solubility. Okay, solubility itself shows that it dissolves the substance inside. Okay, solubility means the property of a substance getting dissolved is called solubility. We do this every day in our house. We dissolve so many substances in water. We make tea when sugar is dissolved in water. When we make nimbu pani, we dissolve salt, sugar, everything inside the water. So we can see that salt and sugar and many substances easily get dissolved in water. And this property of that substance is called solubility. Okay, but every time it does not happen that all the substance will get dissolved in all the liquids. Okay, so there are some solid substances that do not dissolve in some liquids. It is said to be insoluble in that liquid. That substance is insoluble. Okay, we can see, we can take two glasses, and in one we will take water, and in other one we will take kerosene. Okay, and we will put a pinch of salt in both the glasses. You will stir the water and you will stir the kerosene also. After few seconds, you will see that what salt has got dissolved in the glass of water. But while you are stirring the kerosene mixture, the salt is not getting dissolved in it. Okay, why it happens? Because salt is insoluble in kerosene. Salt is a substance which can dissolve in water, but it will not dissolve in kerosene. So we can say that salt is insoluble in kerosene. Okay, so you know many beverages made by using water and soluble substances. Okay, we know many beverages. Tea we know, sharbat we know, nimbu pani, everything are made by using water soluble substance, the substance which get dissolved in water. This property of substance of getting dissolved in water is solubility, and when the substance is not dissolving in the water, it is called insoluble substance. Okay, so every substance and does not dissolve in every liquid. Okay, this is insoluble and soluble substance. Next, we will move on to the another property of substance. Here, we can look through a substance and see on the other side. Have you seen a magnifying glass? Yes. Magnifying glass, we can see through it, are used to see the substances which are very, very small. So we can see them. If we cannot see them with the naked eyes, we can use a magnifying glass or a microscope like thing. And we use specs. Some people, if their eyesight is not proper, they use specs. But with the specs, we can see everything very clearly. So we can see through it. Okay, this is a piece of glass which allows us to see through it on the other side of the glass. Okay, so when we look through a substance and see the things on the other side, then that substance is said to be transparent. Okay, this substance is transparent. What we are using to see to the other side, the medium, that is transparent, and this property is said to be the property of transparency. Okay, the material which is used through which we can see on the other side, that substance is a transparent substance. Glass is transparent, plastic sheet can be transparent. Okay, many substances are there which are transparent, from which we can see on the other side of the part. Okay, other part, but the property is transparency. So these are two different words. Transparent is a substance and transparency is a property of that substance. Okay, so we have came to the last property of the substance, that is transparency. Okay, now with the properties of substance, we have also seen some metals. Now we will see the properties of metals, but before we will see that there are too many types of metals around us. Okay, brass, aluminium, gold, silver, copper, bronze, steel, iron, everything we use in our daily life. But these metals, they do not come in this form, processed form from the nature. In nature, we get it in a form of minerals, okay, inside the earth. Metals are found in the form of minerals deep inside the earth, and minerals from the earth's crust are processed. They are processed to obtain metal. All these minerals, we have to process them to give some procedure on them, and then they become the metal like which we use. Okay, so in daily life, metals have various important uses. Okay, we use all the types of metals very daily in our life. Steel is there, in steel utensils we have, iron, copper wires, everything is used in our electrical wires. Gold, silver, ornaments we use. So all these metals are used in our daily life. Commonly we use all these metals. So now we will see some common properties of metals. You can see aluminum wire, copper wire, iron nail, everything we use in our houses. Now, first property of metal is malleability. Metals are hammered into thin sheets. Okay, on hammering repeatedly, the wire becomes flat, and that is, they form a thin sheet of metals. Okay, you can see the metal is heated in a blacksmith workshop or any workshop where metals are melted. They heat the metals and hammer it. Hammer it means hathode se usko marna. Then they by hammering, they may convert it into thin sheets like this. We can use this property of metal is called as malleability. Okay, malleability is the property of metal which converts the metal into sheets, thin sheets of metal. And where we use these thin sheets of metal or the sheets of metal? When we put shade in our house, in balconies we put shade, there this metal sheets are used. Okay, and in various substances, various ways we can use this metal sheet, but it is made by melting the substance metal and hammering it and converting into thin sheets of metal. So when we convert a metal into thin sheets, this property is called as property of malleability of a metal. Okay. Next is ductility. As we have seen, the metals are hammered and converted into sheets. They are also converted into thin wires. Okay. The metals can be drawn into wires, and this property of metal is called as ductility. You can see in the picture metal wires we use for various purposes. In our electric wires, inside there are many wire, means thin metal wires are there. We use these metal wires for making something decorative also. We can get it very easily nowadays in market. Okay, so this property is called ductility. So what is the difference between malleability and ductility? Malleability is the metal is hammered into thin sheets. When we make it a sheet of metal, it is malleability. But when we make wires of metal, it is called ductility. Okay, so first property of metal was malleability. Next is ductility. Now we will move on to another property. As we can see in our surrounding, we have seen so many metals like gold, we can see silver, platinum, and copper. These can be drawn into fine wires. Okay, we can see wire of gold, wire of silver, copper wires are used in electrical lines, and platinum wires are used. Okay, so these metals can be converted into fine wires, and this property of converting metal into wire is called the ductility of metal. Okay, malleability and ductility are two different properties of metal. Next, with the picture, you should understand that electricity is passing through it. Okay, electricity is passing through a electric wire. Okay, and we have electric wires all over our houses. So this property of metal is called as electrical conductivity. What do you mean by electrical conductivity? It means that electricity flows through the metals, and all the metals are the conductors of electricity. Okay, electricity is flowing through this metal. Metals have the property of taking flowing electricity through them. Okay, and all the metals are conductors of electricity, means almost all the metals have this property of passing electricity through them. Okay, but some are very good conductors and some are little less good, on the less property of flowing the electricity through them. So which are very good conductors are used in the electrical wires. So the property of metal of flowing electricity through them is called the property of electrical conductivity. That means they conduct electricity. Okay, they pass electricity through them. So, next is thermal conductivity. Okay. You can see in the picture a piece of metal is heated at one place, but the whole of it becomes hot. It shows that metals allow heat to flow through them. This property is called thermal conductivity. Here, what happens if you hold a metal piece on a candle, not only the tip of it will get heated, slowly the whole piece of the metal will get heated. Why it happens? Because metals allow heat to travel through them. This property is called thermal conductivity. Now we have two different conductivities, electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity. In electrical conductivity, metals allow electricity to pass through them. And in thermal conductivity, metals allow heat to travel through them. So when electricity is passed, it is called electrical conductivity. And when heat is passed through the metal, travel through metal, it is called as thermal conductivity. Okay. So now we can see, if you hold a metal rod on a flame of candle, it will heat at the tip of that metal, but slowly the heat will get transferred to the whole part of the metal. And this property of metal is called thermal conductivity, in which the metals allow the heat to travel through them. When your mother is cooking food, you can see when the vessel is kept on the gas or stove, if the vessel is having a handle, after cooking the food, you can see not only the pot of the vessel, but also the handle of the vessel gets heated. It is because metal have the property of thermal conductivity. They have the property to allow heat to travel through them. Okay. So this is the property of thermal conductivity. Next, we can see that metals have a typical shine or luster. Okay, what do you mean by luster? Luster is a proper shine that metal shows. Okay, various metals have various shine, and every metal have a characteristic color by which it can be identified. Now, every metal we can identify with its color. As gold, we can identify with its yellow golden color. Silver, we can identify it with a white color. Copper, we can identify with that pinkish color. Iron, black color. Okay? Like this, every metal is having a different color, which helps us to identify which material or which metal it is. And every metal is having a different shine. As the gold shine, the iron will also shine like that? No. Shining of gold is different and the shine of iron is different. Similarly, shine of silver is also very different. Okay, so these metals, they have the typical shine also, luster it is called. Okay, and the scientific word for shine is luster. Okay, they have a proper shine, finishing, their texture is different, and they also have the characteristic color. Characteristic color means special color for them. Gold will be always golden in color. Okay, nowadays we can get white gold, which is modified version, but gold, we identify gold with the color of golden only, yellow golden color, and silver we can identify with a white color. So all the metals which we use in our daily life, or we use it in a factories, all metals are used, they all have their special color and special shine. Okay. Now, next one is, have you seen a ringing bell? Have you seen a bell ringing? When you go to temple, you ring a bell, right? So that sound, how it creates a sound? Because the bell is made up of a metal, and if it is made up of plastic, will it make the same sound? No, because only metal have this quality of making sound. When two metals bang each other, they make this sound. Similarly, you can see string instruments like tanpura, veena, guitar. These instruments make a musical sound, okay, because the strings are made up of metal. Or when you hit a steel plate with a spoon, steel spoon, when you bang it together, hit it, then it will also make a different sound. So these sounds are metal produced a ringing sound. These sounds are ringing sound. Metals have the quality of making this type of ringing sound, and this property is called as sonority. Sonority of metals. Okay, only metals can make this sound. If the bell is made up of a plastic, or if the guitar string is made of plastic, it will not create the sound same as the metal string makes. Okay, so only metals have this property of ringing sound, and this ringing sound, sonority, you have to connect it like this. The property of making sound is the proper metal's property, that is sonority. Okay, when metal produces a sound, ringing sound, sweet sound, this property is called as sonority of metals. Okay, we can see so many instruments, so many things. We have done this in the lockdown. Once we have done that, we have to take a plate in our hand and spoon, and we have to hit it and make a sound. Okay, we have done this in the lockdown time. So that sound is called as sonority of metal. That quality, that property of metals are sonority. Now you have to note the two difference in the sound. The bell and the guitar sound same? No, they will not sound same, because the way the metal is used, in the bell, it is not in a string form, and in guitar, it is in string form. So the shape, size of the metal also represents the music it will create. Okay, the sound made by the metal also depends on which shape the metal is. In the bell, it is in a ball form, bell, and inside it is a small ball. So it will create a different sound. And in guitar, tanpura, veena, it is in string form. Okay. So this string form, they will create a different sound. And these strings are made with the property of ductility is used in it, where metals are converted into strings. Okay. Any two metals, when you bang them or hit them together, they will create some type of sound. And that sound, that property of making that sound is called sonority of metals. So in metals, we have seen properties like malleability, where sheets are made by metal. Next is ductility, where metal wires are made by hitting it. And another one is electrical conductivity, where heat is passed through the metals. Thermal conductivity, electrical conductivity, electricity is passed through the metals. And thermal conductivity, heat is transferred, heat travels in the metal. Next was luster, shine of the metal, and characteristic color, special color for special metal. And the last one was sonority of metals, okay, that's making sound. Now, you should always remember that we are not going to touch the exposed electrical wires or metal parts, especially during rainy season. During rainy season or in any season, you are not supposed to touch any electrical wires or any metal parts coming out or exposed. Okay, when it is broken, you are not going to touch it. Who is going to repair that? Your elders or electrician can come and repair it, but you are not supposed to touch all these things. Next is with the picture, what you can understand looking at the picture. Yes, we can see that switch off when not in use. That means we should keep all the electrical appliances switched off when not in use, especially during rainy season when electricity fluctuates, when it is raining outside, lightning outside. We have to keep all our electrical appliances switched off when we are not using it. It also saves the energy and saves our electrical appliances also. Okay, because when the electricity fluctuates, when there is lightning outside, we can see short circuits happening in the house, or we can electrical appliances can get damaged. So in any season, anytime, if you are not using any electrical appliances, even if it is your fan, tube light, anything, if you are not in a room, you are going to switch it off. It saves energy, and it is a very good habit of saving energy, and we should teach it to others in the house also, that if you are not using anything, you should switch it off. If it is an electrical appliance, you can switch it off. Next is at home, you should always ask your seniors to check the electrical wiring and fittings periodically. Means after a gap of some time, it should always be checked by your seniors or anyone elder at home. It should, to avoid any accidents or any damage in your house, we should always keep a check on our electrical wirings and fittings periodically, but it should be done by your seniors or elders at home. Okay, so you are not going to do all this, as we have first seen that on all the exposed wires or any dangerous electrical thing, you are not going to touch it. Your seniors, your elders, anyone electrician, they are going to check it, and it should be checked periodically to avoid any accidents. Now, what we have learned in this today's lesson is we have learned the properties of substances, that is hardness like stone, elasticity like rubber band, balloon, brittleness of glass, fluidity of water, density of iron, solubility of salt, what sugar, transparency of a glass. Okay. But with that, we have also seen some metals and their properties. So properties of metals we have seen is malleability, converting into sheets. Ductility in wires. Thermal conductivity, heat is passed. Electrical conductivity, electricity is passed. Sonority makes sounds. Luster means shine, and characteristic color means the special color of different metals. All the metals have different colors according to their property. Okay. So now we have I have an assignment for you. Okay. You have to tell me what it is made from. I will name the substance or the item. You have to tell me how it is made, or it is made from what substance. A screwdriver. Can anyone tell me how the screwdriver is made? Rais, can you tell me? Screwdriver. Which substance is used to make a screwdriver? Yes.
Feet, knots, fitting.
But which substance is used to make a screwdriver? We have talked about substances, right? Is it made up of wood? Glass का बनता है? Wood. Screwdriver is made up of wood? Yes or no? Those who can unmute yourself, you can unmute and answer.
Yes, teacher.
Iron.
Yes, iron. Screwdriver is made up of iron.
Iron.
Yes, very good. Okay. Screwdriver, have you seen a gold screwdriver? Gold का हम screwdriver बनाते हैं क्या? Yes? No. Pair of tongs. Seen a pair of tongs in your kitchen? Pair of tongs means in Hindi we call it as चिमटा. किचन में चिमटा होता है करने के लिए.
Iron.
Yes, iron. It is also made up of iron. Next is ornaments. The ornaments which your mummy wears, which your sister is wearing, ornaments. It is made up of which substance? Earrings, bangles, necklace.
With gold or plastic.
Yes, it is made up of gold, silver, or platinum. Okay, these
Gold,
substances
silver,
are used to
platinum.
make ornaments.
Gold.
Yes.
The gold, silver, platinum.
Okay. Now see on the screen. Next one is pots and pans.
Teacher, that also iron from iron or the plastic.
Plastic, iron, steel. Okay. Steel is also used in kitchen. We use copper vessel, steel vessel. Okay. Pots are made up of earthen pots are also there. Okay. In village, we can see food is cooked in earthen pots. In nowadays, we have steel pots, pans, aluminium vessels are there. So we can, many types of substances are used in making pots and pans. Very good. Next is electrical cables, electrical wires which we have in a house. What substance is used in that? No?
Fitting wires.
But that wire is made up of which substance? जो हमारा light का cable होता है, electrical wires which we use at home.
Teacher, aluminium and tamba or teacher, aluminium, tamba.
Copper.
Yes, copper. Very good. Copper wires are used in electrical cables. Yes, very good. Next is sheets used for roofing. When we keep roof, when we make roof of our house or roof of our balcony, which sheets are used? Do we use wooden sheets to cover our balcony or cover our house? You have to tell me whether it is right or wrong. Am I right? We use wooden sheets to cover our house, roofs. Don't know?
No.
Metal sheets are used to roof our house, right? Make roof of our house. पत्रा बोलते हैं जिसको, पत्रा you have seen? घर के ऊपर पत्रा लगाते हैं, बालकनी में शेड लगाते हैं. Nowadays we can use, we are getting plastic shades also, plastic sheets which we can use to roof our house. Okay. And the last one is sickle to cut sugarcane. Whenever you are farming, you have to cut that crop. So the sickle is used to cut that crop. What it is made up of? जिससे हम
Steel.
The steel.
Steel. Can iron be used to make a sickle? Iron से बना सकते हैं?
Yes.
Yes. We
Yes.
can use iron to use that
Teacher.
sickle.
Iron.
Okay. Now you have to.
Iron.
Okay. Now what you have to do as a homework, that you have to read and collect the articles on science in newspapers, in magazines, or wherever you can get any article related to science. You have to read it, collect it, keep a cutout of it, and keep it in your science book. Okay. What you are going to do? If you get any article on science, you will read it, understand it. If it is related, if you think it is important, you can cut it and paste it in your science notebook. Okay. So this is your assignment for homework for today. This assignment, you can take a screenshot of this assignment. So you can write what it is made from in your science notebook. Okay. Okay. Now, I hope everyone had understood this lesson. Yes. So we came to the end of this lesson. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Bye-bye. Take care.